Okay, so the second thing that we're going to look at today is we're going to look at solving subtraction equations. Solving subtraction equations. And if you remember from the first video, we had our vocabulary words, variable, coefficient, inverse, constant, solution, and our goal for solving a one-step equation is to have a variable on one side and a number on the other side. And that could also be, see how this is the left side, has the variable equals the number on the right side. It doesn't necessarily have to be this way. It could be a number on the left side is equal to a variable. That's the same thing. So you've reached the same goal. So right now I'm going to do a couple of problems involving subtraction. Okay, and so like for instance, if we have d minus 12 equals 13. D minus 12 equals 13. And our one-step equation for addition, solving addition equations is the same exact thing for solving subtraction equations. So our thing was add the inverse of the constant. In this situation, our constant is going to be negative 12. Not 12, but negative 12. Now, and the reason that it's negative 12 is because when the higher level we get, the things change, but they stay the same kind of thing. So we kind of get rid of subtraction because it all lumps into adding integers, because when you add integers, you also subtract and you add in adding integers. And if that doesn't make sense to you, then make sure you look at my video on adding integers. Okay? So here, this problem would be d minus 12, but in actuality, it is d plus negative 12 equals 13. So now you have an adding equation, and adding one-step equations. Okay, so here it is. It's the same thing. Add the inverse of the constant, negative 12. What's the inverse of negative 12? Like we said, the inverse is the opposite. So we're going to add 12 to both sides. So plus 12 plus 12. So here my d drops, and this goes to 0 because this is a 0 pair. So that 0 equals, what's 12 plus 13? 12 plus 13 is 25. So my solution is 25. My equation is d equals 25 because we have met our goal. We have a variable d on one side, and we have a number 25 on the other side. Okay? I want to show you something that, okay, so like we have a problem like this. Negative 15 is equal to e minus 10. Well, no, let's not do 10. Let's do like 20. Let's do 21. Okay? Same step. Add the inverse of the constant. Add the inverse of the constant. Add the inverse of the constant. Now let's look. What is our constant this time? Is it negative 15? Is it 21? Or is it negative 21? So we look at this and we got to add the inverse, add the opposite. That's what we do when we subtract. So here, which constant are we looking at? Are we looking at negative 15 or are we looking at negative 21? Now, we have to remind ourselves that we want to get the variable by itself. So we want to get e by itself. How can we get e by itself? The only way we can get e by itself is if we make it 0. What can we add to negative 21 to make 0, to get our 0 pair? We have to add 21 there. So in this case, we would not be doing the inverse of negative 15. We will be doing the inverse of negative 21. So we're going to add the inverse of the constant, negative 21. Very good. So here we're going to add 21 over here, and we're going to put it right under 21. Under negative 21, we're going to put add the inverse of negative 21 here, which is 21. Okay? So this goes to 0 because that's a 0 pair. E drops down. My equal sign drops down. So everything drops down. Okay? Negative 15 plus 21. Okay, now this is where you got to know about those integers. You just can't get to algebra or to pre-algebra or whatever and forget about your integers. You got to still use those rules. So here we got an integer negative 15 and we got a positive integer 21. When we have different signs, because one is negative and one is positive, we're going to subtract and take the sign of the higher absolute value. So here, my number that's higher absolute value means the number that's farthest from 0 on the number line, right? So 21 is farther from 0 than negative 15. So my answer is going to be positive because 21 is positive. So we're going to subtract 21 minus 15. Well, that's 6. And it's going to be positive because 21 is positive. So I have reached my goal. I have a number on one side and I have a variable on the other side. So that would be this goal right here. But it's the same thing. So 6 is equal to E. So if I replace 6 here, if I do 6 plus negative 21, I'm going to get negative 15. So that is subtracting one-step equations. Thank you.